Drills Talk, episode 13. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to create the new you. This is based off of a blog I wrote entitled It's Time to Get Out of Your Own Way. The blog can be reached in the description. And please like the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's get right to it. Number one. Number one is to control what you can control. Now, you don't have a lot of control over a lot of, external things, but most of the internal things you do control. Sometimes you can get sick out of your control, but you can work out, you can eat right, you can put yourself in the best position to be healthy. Bad things happen to you, good things happen to you, and we'll get to those. But control what you can control. You don't want to mope around about things out of your control. What can you do about it? So you're just going to be, down in the dumps until something that's out of your control gets better. Right now, we're in the midst of, a coronavirus issue, and, none of it seems to be in the control of anybody. We don't know exactly, when it's going to be over. We don't know how long it's going to last at all because we don't know exactly how the virus operates. We don't know exactly how it spreads. I mean, you go from 2 weeks ago, it's like, it's a respiratory issue and, you can get it from people breathing on you. And then it's like, oh, well, you can get it on your hands. And then it's like, oh, well, you can get it from people sneezing, but sneezing wasn't even one of the symptoms of it a week ago. It's just, a lot of it doesn't make any sense. We got new things. People are saying they're asymptomatic, and then a week later they're saying, oh, well, I can't taste and I can't, my sense of smell is gone. Like, okay, well, you were asymptomatic, but now you have these symptoms, and they're adding these symptoms now to, the coronavirus. But how can I control that? You can't control that. And also, it's the midst of, pollen season in a lot of places in the South, and people have allergies. It's also another flu season. And it's like, okay, well, how am I supposed to know what I have? You don't. And you can't control that. But control what you can control. So stay your behind in the house, make sure your food is good, make sure you have the essentials, make sure you have water, and then just stay home, ride this thing out, and then we go from there. But that's all you can control. Is your safety, your sanity. The world's going crazy right now, and there'll always be something going on in the world that's like out of this, out of this world. It's like I can't even believe that this is happening here. And again, out of your control. Control what you can control, and you can control you. You can control, how you go about reacting to these things that are out of your control. That'll be part of the new you, because the old you is a good chance that you got very angry about stuff that you didn't control. It would destroy your entire day. And why would it control your entire day or destroy your entire day? You see something on TV and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that that's going on. I'm not going to do anything the rest of the day. I'm going to go and lay down and curl up into a ball. Why? That's not helping the situation at all. And it's not helping you. You're losing productivity because of something that occurred outside of you that you had absolutely nothing to do with. And it really has absolutely nothing to do with you, if you can help it, right? So definitely control what you can control. If you haven't had that said to you, that is the best advice you can get. This world is crazy. Things happen all the time. Not always a rhyme or reason. It does seem like sometimes things are meant just for you. All this stuff is just because to get it and stick it to you. And sometimes you cannot be talked out of that. And it feels like that is so. You may have been laid off because of this coronavirus thing. You may have been, had travel plans and couldn't go because of this thing. You probably can't get to family you want to get to. There's elderly people that's in another state that you are worried about all day. You know what I mean? But the most you can do is control what you can control. The trip can be taken later. The person that you can't get to, you can call as much as you need to call. You can video call now. You can see their face. You can send them something if they don't have anything to, see their face on it. You can send it to them. You know what I mean? Mail's still running. Control what you can control. Make the best out of the situations you have. Don't drive yourself crazy because the world they'll probably handle that for you. So, you know, understand that that's part of the new you, controlling what you can control. Number two. Number two is to understand that bad things will happen to you. I mean, again, back to the whole random thing. Yeah, random things do happen. And a lot of times when bad things happen to us, we tend to believe that this wasn't really random. Like the world really pointed me out on this one, and this FU was for me. And I understand I've been there before. I'm not going to try to talk you out of that. I definitely feel that at sometimes, like, there was nothing random about this string of bad luck. There was absolutely nothing random about it. And it's hard to believe that it was random. Just the odds of something like that occurring, randomly are very, very small. And I'm a big numbers person, so it's very hard for me to believe too. And if you're like that, you're not alone. But what we need to do is understand that we don't need to be gluttons for punishment. And I'm gonna take you through this scenario, and you see if it hits home, and if it doesn't, that's great. But if it does, you need to be aware and make sure you don't do that. Let's say something bad happens to you, but you had a full day. Something bad happens to you. You wake up at 8. The bad occurrence is 10 a.m. 2 hours up. You've already, hit that bad occurrence or something that unfortunate occurred to you, right? Now, the entire day that you had planned, you're no longer doing it, right? You're in a bad mood. You don't want to do anything, right? So now you've already taken what may bring you out of that rut, out of the equation, right? So there's nothing that can occur in that day that's going to take you out of your rut, right? So now you're in it. All right, so you're in it. You're home. You're moping around. If there's anybody at your home, they don't really want to be around you because your energy is just death right now. Nobody wants to be around that, right? And you understand that, and you don't want anybody around you anyway, so it works out perfectly. Okay, but that person could have brought you joy. That person could have had a great day and wanted to tell you about their great day, and your energy kind of took away from their great day. So now that day that they wanted to talk about, they don't really want to talk about it anymore, and that could have been the thing to pull you up out of your rut. But we're being gluttons for punishment because we're moping around because that instance in that day, that piece of that day, we're gonna, extrapolate that across the entire day or across the entire week, right? We're making it worse and worse and worse. And a lot of times we do this and it's like, oh, well, what now? Or what more can happen? And we're kind of opening ourselves up for more bad things to occur, as if life or the world or God is just gonna say, you know what, this person's had enough. We're gonna, send mercy towards them. Now, as I said in the blog, if you read the blog, this may or may not happen. And do you want to be on the may not side? What if there is no mercy? What if the mercy was you stopping and digging yourself up out of that? Glutton for punishment doesn't always work. And I don't know if it's a human trait or maybe it's just, in some humans to where we think, oh, well, if I just stop fighting and just allow all the bad stuff to hurt me and, whatever it is, it'll just be over soon. That's not always the case, man. A lot of times when things are happening to you, you have to be the one to say it's over. You have to be the one to stop it. If you're gambling and you're losing and you're losing and you're losing, but in your head, man, I can get all this back in like 2 wins, 3 wins, I'm right back or above or what. You have to stop. You're in a bad relationship and you're like, oh, well, if I just give them another chance, or just one more chance, 2 more chances, they're human, people make mistakes. How many times, how many mistakes? How much money needs to be lost for the gambler? How many times does your heart need to be broken in the relationship? How many times you need to be disrespected at that job, before you up and leave? And, you telling yourself that either, oh, it's going to be like this everywhere, or, whatever, I'm just going to take it all in and then eventually it'll stop. You can't have that as part of your personality anymore. Because you know what? Bad things will happen. But bad things will not continue to happen, at least not in the same place. I'm going to get up and move. I'm going to, try to duck and dodge these bad things. I'm going to try to feel happy. If I have a bad morning, I'm going to try to have a great afternoon and even better evening with a great night of sleep. You have to tell yourself that I'm not going to continuously just get punched in the face. I'm going to move. Bad things happen to everybody, but they're not going to continue to happen to me. Yes, I get punched in the face enough times, and then it's like, okay, well, I finally decide to move, but you got punched in the face 10 times, and now you have a black eye. And now you have to wait until that heals. For what? When you could have moved after the first punch, and, maybe that one hit you in the forehead and it wouldn't have messed up your eye. Things like that. We need to be better at not being gluttons for punishment. We need to be better at not just falling down and falling out saying, okay, the world's against me, have at it. Because it may have at it. And it may continue to punch and punch and punch. And as you fall down that mountain you climbed up, years and years ago. And now you're digging yourself out of something that you never had to do. You never had to dig that far. You never had to climb that mountain again. All you had to do was adjust. All you had to do was move. All you had to do was not be a glutton or not be that same person you've been for the past decade or more. Because bad things happen and bad things will happen. But you can control what you can control, and what you can control is you not allowing it to continue to happen. Number three is that good things will happen also. If we go back to the random things, okay, random things happen, so there's good and bad. Now, I'm going to tell you how these good things happening to you can really mess you up too, and you need to, watch this if you're creating this new you. So let's say you're trying to get this girl or this guy that you feel is out of your league, and you get them. It works out. You get the date and y'all go into a relationship. Okay, great. You want this new car, this new home, and your credit's not that good. But you get the loan. That's great, right? The world was looking out for you, or luck, or God, or whatever you want to, point to as the reason of good. That's what happened. Excellent. The job that you're definitely underqualified for, but you get it. Oh my goodness, they hired me. Oh, I have to worry about actually learning what I said I knew, but that's fine. I got the job. I have the income. I'll learn on the job. Perfect. Those three scenarios are good things that can occur to you, but those three scenarios can actually be, a detriment and cause entitlement. You may say, okay, well, these good things happen to me. I know eventually it'll happen again. It should. It happened before. But, that girl or guy, that girl or guy was treated very badly by the last person they were with. And you're not their type. You're not the person they normally go for. But, the person they did normally go for didn't treat them very well. So you got a chance. Okay, great. Well, how many times would that happen? What if they weren't treated bad? And then then what was supposed to happen, which was you being, told no or not interested, happened. But it didn't that time. It worked out for you. But don't be entitled. That loan manager that gave you that loan, they were one loan away from getting that bonus. So did it matter that your score was 20 to 30 points lower than it was supposed to be? No, you were getting that loan regardless. It had nothing to do with luck. It had nothing to do with you. It had a lot to do with them and their quota and them, getting to that money that they wanted. Congratulations. If you mess up your credit again, but whatever. How many times could that happen? What if they were 10 loans away and it was only 2 days and they never closed 10 loans in 2 days? Then you wouldn't have got it, right? The job needed somebody and you were that somebody. The job needed somebody to start on Monday and the other candidates couldn't start for 2 weeks. So you got the job. This is how things work, but we never really dig in that deep to understand why these good things are happening. We don't really dig in deep on why bad things are happening. We just don't care that they're happening to us. We're very upset about it, but we don't think of, okay, well, what led up to it? Was it completely random? Did I have anything to do with it? Or none of that? Or, did somebody else have something to do with it? Somebody else can be the reason why something good or bad happened to you. Now, we talked about it in the entitlement stage and in this number 3, but, think about it on both sides. Bad things happen to you It could be random. It could be because somebody made it happen. It could be because you made it happen. We discussed that part, the glutton for punishment. Good things. It shouldn't cause entitlement. Don't wait around for good things to occur. Like, work hard. And then when good things occur, it'll be because of you or you got thrown a bone. And there's nothing wrong with either of those, but you don't wait on the bones being thrown to you. You don't wait on good things to just occur. That's just not how you do it. You work hard. The hard work's going to get you some things. And then every now and then you get what I call a gift, which is something that, happens good to you where you probably didn't really deserve it. But because of your hard work, you can talk yourself into understanding that, hey, maybe this is the bone I needed, or this is the bone I was thrown because I'm busting my tail trying to get this thing. So, I got this. Just to tell me to keep on going, keep working hard. But if I get entitled, I can say, oh, well, maybe I don't need to work as hard, because if I just wait it out, I may get this thing again. I may get another gift. I may get another bone thrown to me. But again, just like that punishment stopping in number 2, it may or may not happen. So you're working not as hard as you used to, and that bone that you're waiting on is not coming. And now what? You feel entitled, and now you're mad at the world again, and now you're not doing anything. You're not working as hard. And what do you get when you don't work as hard? Nothing. What do you get when you're not throwing a bone? Nothing. So now you're sitting around and doing what? Nothing. For what? That's not the new you. The new you is not entitled. The new you is not a glutton for punishment. The new you controls what they can control. And that just doesn't fit. So that's out. That entitlement is gone. We don't do that anymore. We're not gluttons for punishment. We can control what we can control. We are like extremely, extremely powerful people, powerful beings. The old you was weak. The old you didn't really get it together, needed to make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake before they got it right. Not the new you. And what I just did is part of number 4. And that is to write or speak into existence. It's a very powerful thing. We think that, we just live this life and there's no such thing as energy and there's no such thing as power in words. And that is absolutely false. And if you need to prove it, then you need to do it, because me telling you what works is like, okay, well, cool, man, maybe it worked for you. But you telling yourself, and you can see it for yourself, you're like, okay, well, maybe Drill's nobody's talking about. Maybe there's a reason he's on episode 13, and maybe there's a reason, he has people watching him or following him or subscribing, and maybe you should, if you haven't subscribed, to subscribe. Thank you. But speaking to existence, I can go back to where I had no YouTube channel. I had no desire to be on YouTube. And then now I'm here with however many videos. You can check how many videos I have now, or followers or subscribers or whatever. But at one point it was just like, well, I make music and I need a way to show people who I am outside of just music. And I don't want to make, a video a day on Instagram, and I don't want to have to post multiple times a day on Twitter or Facebook. I don't want to do that. So how can I put me out there for my, fans or my potential fans without it being a burden to me, and at the same time be able to help people who follow me and subscribe to me and follow my music. Boom, YouTube, right? So here I am. And what I did was, instead of telling myself, okay, it's very hard. Everybody's doing it. They've been doing it for years. How are you going to catch up? It takes a lot of money to get there. How are you going to do that? You have bills. You have a family. Where is this coming from? No, I don't tell myself that. What I tell myself is, I'm the great wizard of the new world. You hear it at the beginning of every one of my songs. Like, I tell myself that all the time. I can create anything. I can create, something from nothing is what I do. So, fast forward however many months I've been doing this, and it's like, oh, wow. Plus, at the time, I think it's like 600, 700, somewhere, I think just under 700 subscribers. And, I'm getting thousands of views. And it's not a huge deal compared to the bigger channels, but for a newer channel like me, it's a huge deal to me It's a huge deal to get a comment. Even if you're just saying hi, it's a huge deal to me to get an email, and be able to reply back. Everything's a big deal right now because it's showing me that, what I spoke into existence and what I planned is real and it's happening. It felt great when I was saying it, but it feels even better now that it exists. And you can do the same thing for you. Hey, I'm gonna get into selling houses. I'm gonna do it. Okay, well, tell yourself that every day. And not only are you going to do it, you're going to be extremely successful at it. Tell yourself that every day. Write that on your mirror, recite it. Why not? You know what I mean? What do you think? What do you think that the really successful people are doing? Like, you're on YouTube now, absolutely finish watching this video, absolutely finish, or watch more of my videos, but search, speaking into existence and the power of positive thought while you're on, YouTube. It's not a joke. People do it. Very successful people do it daily. Deep thought and meditation, all that stuff works. It's been around for thousands of years. Things don't stay around for thousands of years that don't work. It may sound crazy, all this energy and all this speaking into existence, and I just don't get it. It's because maybe you're not really in touch with your spiritual self, and, that's another thing that needs to be part of that new you. You need to get in touch with your spiritual self. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about you, being connected to all of this. You being connected to nature. You being connected. Go outside of this physical world. Close your eyes. Feel the vibrations. Feel the energy. There's stuff out there that you may not understand now that you will understand because you're creating this new you. And this new you writes and speaks into existence. This new you believes in yourself to the utmost. This new you is in touch with the world and understand that everything is pretty much working as one. And when you understand that, you can speak into existence. You can use the law of attraction and bring things to you if you believe it. And you will believe it because you'll spend time with yourself and you say, yes, I'm not only saying that I'm this good, but I've studied and prepared myself to be this good. And then you go out and you do it and you prove it to yourself that, okay, not only did I study and prepare myself, but I've actually done it and proved it. So now there's absolutely no stopping me. When I first started making music, it was like, okay, yeah, I think I can do this. I'm pretty good. I can do it. And then it was like, well, it's more than I can do it. Like I'm getting really good at this. I can create any type of music. I can write any song. I can now, promote my music to anyone in the world. I know how to pinpoint and get it to somebody that, is on the other side of the world. Doesn't even speak my language, but I can get them my music. I can get them this video. I can get it to them. And it's with the assistance of others and the assistance of tools that other people made, but those tools were made in here first. There's just going to be this site where, there's going to be everybody's personal videos and people can have their own channels and we can market to each other on this site. That's crazy talk, right? Until it happens. And it's happened. And now I'm benefiting from it. And you're benefiting from it from watching this video. And whatever you create after watching this video, someone else will benefit from. And that's all from someone believing in themselves and speaking into existence and writing into existence and understanding that they do have the power, under the law of attraction to just make what they want in this world as so. It works. Try it. What do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing. This is the new you. It's a fresh slate. Drills Talk, episode 13. This was the top 4 ways to create a new you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this out. It's Drills.